A very beautiful morning to you wherever you are listening to us from, and welcome to Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha. This very beautiful Saturday morning, today being the 28th day in the month of June in the year 2025. Wherever you are listening to us from, it's always a pleasure to be here. Remember, on this very platform, we speak the truth and we uphold the truth and we preserve the truth. We call a spade a spade. We can never call a spade by any other name. That's no reason we say, North Dissera Veritas and North Dissera Unison Veritas and North Dissera Vivika Kabit Veritas and North Dissera Lingolum and North Dissera Contra Lingolum. You are welcome wherever you are listening to us from. It's about 6 minutes than the hour of 9 here in Nigeria, and also 6 minutes than the hour of 4 a.m. in New York, and also 6 minutes than the hour of 5 p.m. in Tokyo, Japan, and 6 minutes than the hour of 4 p.m. in China, and also 36 minutes than the hour of 1 p.m. in Delhi, India, and also 6 minutes than the hour of 11 a.m. in Saudi Arabia, in Jerusalem, in Palestine. Wherever you are listening to us from, you are welcome. Remember, you can be part of this very program. All you need to do is to visit any of our social media handle. You can be part of this very program. All you need to do, just go straight to Facebook and type Udala Radio. You watch us live, and you can also visit YouTube and also type Udala Radio. You can also watch us live on YouTube, and you can also search Radio Garden, type Udala Radio. You can at the same time go straight to our website and be part of this very program. My name is Tony Olisa Mbeki, the Honorable Speaker, as far as this parliament is concerned, and we are here. We have a guest we'll be speaking to this very morning, and that guest, we know very well she's a woman, and you'll be wondering the first time a woman will be joining us on this very show, and we respect women and we know what they are capable of, and we can never for any reason underestimate them. Here in the studio with me this very morning, I have Professor Zelunjo Igweze, a professor of pharmacology and also toxicology and director of Women Affairs John Nwosu Campaign Organization. She's here to talk to us, especially on the 7 pillar of CHIMS, that is the acronym for the 7 pillars of John Nwosu Campaign, and we are here to look at some of the things that relates to welfare, women, children on Crossfire. It's my pleasure to welcome you, Professor Zelunjo Igweze. It's my pleasure this morning to welcome you.
Olisa, thank you very much. Good morning to people of Anambra State. Good morning to everybody from whatever part of the world you're listening. We're here to discuss issues, and I hope you keep tuned in and hear what we have to say. Thank you very much.
Now let's begin by throwing the first, we call it job here, and then being a professor of pharmacology and toxicology. One will wonder, could this have any impact in political atmosphere, because we are here for politics and no more, no less, but at the same time, this is something that has to do with medicine and then also pharmacy. But you are there, you are here. I don't know if there is any correlation or relationship between the two.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, you have to know I'm a human being.
Okay.
Every human being is political. Okay. Whether you find yourself within the 4 walls of academia, even in our homes, with our husband and children, we're all it's politics. You have to agree to disagree. So everybody gets involved because the issues, you want to add value to what is being done. So it has nothing to do with my title. I'll even prefer you see me as a woman from Anambra State who is concerned with her state and who is concerned with issues that will affect her, affect our children, affect the communities which she intends to add value to and get the society right. So everybody, it doesn't matter.
All right, it's good to hear that from you, and we know very well that the CHIMS platform under John Nwosu's campaign, I know these are acronyms for security, health, education, economy, environment, markets, and social welfare. Let's begin with the issue of social welfare. I would also want to ask you to briefly explain what the social welfare pillar under this CHIMS platform entails.
Okay, thank you very much. The CHIMS, the pillar of our our campaign, which will define our policy, our programs, and our projects. The acronym is SHEAMS. I like to call it she. You know, the she there is, you know, sometimes I make fun and say women. But although it ends in M, so there's men in it, so everybody's taking along. So the social welfare aspect of it is critical, and it is actually very penitent to the female gender. If you look at the society, you find out that most women are in the non-organized sector of the economy. They don't, most of them don't have pensions to fall back to. So you must put safety nets in place to be able to catch them when their moments are no longer, the lights are beginning to dim. So there's a lot of things you have to make social protection policies. You have to put instruments that will help to ameliorate the social things that women go to. The female gender is very vulnerable to so many things in society. The policies, the programs have to uplift the women, because let's face it, women, I'm not saying the men are not important, but women are a vital part of our society. They do a lot of things, but at the same time, they are very vulnerable. So the social thing like creating, well, let me start with the security, because those are all the social protection measures. You make the environment very secure for the woman so she can go about her duty, do her business and everything. You talk about her health, which is the second pillar in the SHEAMS. There's a lot of things we don't do for women, especially the widows. Women are not economically independent in terms of money. So we have to create like health institutions that not only accessible but also affordable. These are two things. If it's accessible and it's not affordable, you are back to square one. We have the maternal, pre-maternal help, you know, and when women go on maternity leave, they lose economically and otherwise. So we have to put safety nets.
For women?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Because women are very important in our society. I'm not saying men are not.
Just as men.
Very important. Men are also equally. Okay. But if you look at our society, the women, most of them are the homemakers. They contribute a lot to the running of the homes. For a woman to be able to assert herself and know what she wants and say no, she has to be financially independent.
Oh, financial independence?
Absolutely. She has to have her own money.
Okay. If
she's controlled by money, then she doesn't have a voice.
Okay. I want to ask you something. Most times, remember, do you see John Chumanwosu as somebody who will deliver some of the things you are mentioning? Remember, he's a candidate of African Democratic Congress, and you think he has some of these qualities or capacity to deliver some of these things. And then I also want to push you on your statement. You did say when women are financially independent, they tend to achieve a lot. But there are times people, or we have observed that some women who are financially independent, they tend to be arrogant and at the same time tend to be uncontrollable and forgetting the African values, our African norms and cultures when it has to do with marriage. But let's begin with the candidate of ADC. Do you see him as somebody who is ready to deliver women in the realm of financial independence and the pre-gain maternal and other healthcare services you mentioned here?
Thank you very much. You know, your first question was, why did I delve into politics?
That's the first question.
I saw a man who has a passion, who has the capacity to change things. That was why I got involved. If not, I would stayed within the four walls, although I'm still passionate about my teaching. I'm a pharmacist by training, so I'm still passionate about what I do. Chuma Moves, who has 101% capacity. He has, in fact, the affirmation he has said is that it's not the Beijing one. He's going to do 40-60. Because everything is affirmation. Let's take it. Women are disadvantaged. If a woman is not on the table, you can't understand where the needs of the woman. If you're not a woman, you can't make policies. You can't implement programs. If you're not a widow, you don't understand widowhood. So some of those people who have vulnerabilities, who are disadvantaged, Chuma Nwosu is going to carry them. In fact, his social welfare is hinged on helping the vulnerable, those that are advantaged in their greatest time of need. Okay. Like getting women, if you're a farmer, the traders. Let me use the taxes, the obnoxious taxes in Anambra State. It's affecting women. If you enter any market, 91% of the people there, traders, are women. We know that. I don't know about other states, but Anambra State. They have to pay taxes. They have to wake up to do what they are doing. But they complain, I'm a woman. I have relatives. The complaint is that they are overtaxed. It's eating into their little income. And everybody knows the bad economy of the present government at the national level has percolated down to the states. So they are heavily taxed. John Nwosu is there to relieve those taxes and help the woman prosper.
Okay, go on.
Because any extra income that you can cut off from her tax goes into her family.
Okay.
To make them better.
All right, do you think the present administration in Anambra State is not doing anything for women? And also remember, there is free maternal and at the same time child delivery in Anambra State. I'm aware that the government of Professor Chukwuma Soludo has put in place some social intervention programs like free maternal health care, where over 70,000 women, both from the records they produced to us, antenatal and then child delivery, including more than 1,000 per month access prenatal and also delivery service at no cost, and the issue of other primary health care services being upgraded. Do you think these ones are not enough, or these ones have not been done well, that John Chuma Nwosu will do something different or improve on this one or do away with this one? What do you think?
Yeah, we understand the program is in place, but it's not perfectly executed.
Okay.
It's not being executed properly. I don't have the current statistic, but in some countries, you give maternity leaves 3 months and 6 months after. They are paid maternity leaves. Are they paying them? How do you explain that a woman, let me say the one that is in the the mainstream sector, who is a paid servant, how does she cope when she's on maternity leave? Something should be given. Otherwise, she'll be itching to go back to her former trade, and it will affect the raising up of the child. Let me put it like a woman who sells tomatoes, and she's on she has accessed the free maternal care. She has delivered. But what happens while she's at home? Who gives her money to even buy the little things she needs to help her raise her family and put her mind at rest that at least she's getting something before she can go back to her trade? It's there, but we're going to perfect it. We're going to streamline it. There has to be, the data has to be there, because you work with data. It has to be widespread. It doesn't have to be limited to the cities. We'll get to the rural areas, know how to get to them so that they can access, because the ones that are most indigent are people from the rural areas. Okay. So you take it to them.
All right. I would also want to find out, you're from Anambra State.
Absolutely.
Which part of Anambra State are you from?
I'm from Oka.
Okay. Being from Oka, don't you think that there are certain social intervention programs, even in the past, present, or currently going on for women, where women have been asked to participate? At least there is one youth to skill. I don't know if you have heard about it. Currently going on. Do you think John Nwosu would do something beyond what is presently? Because if you're asking somebody to do away with this, probably you have something much more better, and you sound so much passionate about women. And it seems that you're a woman activist as well, if I may use that word. But I want to ask you, from your immediate community, have you been able to see certain needs women are not attended to or given? Have you been able to assess that?
I'll tell you one thing for free.
Okay.
I'm sure people who are listening to me, I'm a grassroots person.
Oh. Okay.
I stay in my community. Also, the women in Oka, I'm part of everything they do. So I know what is going on. That's where I get the information.
Okay.
Whatever is on ground is not properly executed. We will not do away with the ones with deemed feed that are proper. The ones that are not proper, will do away with that. And in this place, we put something better. It's not just enough doing away with something. You have to find out we have what we want to do in terms of how we help maternal health, their mental health, counseling, where women can access antenatal, you say is there, but we have to do other things and make sure that pre and post delivery, they're comfortable. They're comfortable. A woman, I'm not if you call me an activist, I'm not a female activist.
Okay.
I believe in gender equality. And when you say gender equality, some people misconstrue it to be activism. What you're trying is that provide social support measures that will help a woman to actualize her God's-given talents and where she has to get to.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. I'm a professor today. In my family's both ways, I've not seen a professor. It doesn't make me happy. I want a situation where you can help a girl, encourage her, mentor her to get to this level. If I stay here and go and there's no other professor of pharmacy, I've not actually gained. So we have to create an environment where people are encouraged to attain their God-given abilities.
Okay.
A girl doesn't have to stop at maybe if she has gone to university, not do her master's, you encourage her to do her PhD and everything that will enable her to get to a point. Because let's face facts. When a woman is trained, you train a family, you train a community, you train a nation.
Oh, okay. All right. I also want to ask you, very importantly, because you have a lot of women who are listening to us, and just like you said earlier on, women are very, very important. But many of them will tell you that there are certain things they basically lack. Some of them will tell you finance, and then some of them will tell you that they have issues about housing. Some of them will tell you that they have less skills when it comes to vocational opportunities, and we've seen some programs tailored towards women like tailoring, hairdressing, makeup artistry, and even baking and confectionaries, and then soap, cream, and perfume production, even decoration and planning. These are things that give money. But you have articulated certain plans Shumawosu has for women, not just women. You talked about also children. I want to ask you, do you think that these will directly impact women in both rural and urban areas? And how are these things streamlined? Because we are in campaign season. Anybody can tell you anything to get your trust, to get a vote. At the same time, when the person gets in there, the person may delay such promises or tend to do it later on. How would the fate of women and children be if eventually Shumawosu becomes the governor of this state?
Okay, in terms of, you said something about housing. The government has no business spending money where it is not necessary.
Okay.
I can't see any housing project by this government.
You can see any housing project?
If you have one, you tell me where it is. Low income housing. I've been to countries where you have low income housing. You know, there's a lot of widows. Do you know that women who are also single mothers, not because of their own choice, because of circumstance.
What kind of circumstance?
Okay, maybe she somehow, maybe her, when you make your choices,
okay,
and it's not convenient,
okay,
you have to live with it.
Okay. But
do we discard such women? They have children, and if you don't look into how they raise those children, they eventually become a problem to the society. So people don't think about single women. Nobody's encouraging it, but it happens. It's with us. Where do they live? What do they do? Granted that you teach people in skills and vocational acquisition, what is the follow-up? You give them loan. Who mentors them? Who makes sure that they're doing the right thing? These are things that make people build up. You don't open a hairdressing salon for somebody. There's no monitoring. There's no mentorship. You don't bring them up about to say, how are you doing? This is what financial expert to tell them, this is how you do. Those who have succeeded in the business, okay, this is how you go about it to become like me. Let me say, because I own a pharmacy and somebody is, how do we mentor our pharmacy students? You bring them and say, you think I'm big? This is how I became big. You have to go this way, you have to go this way, you have to. Who is mentoring them? So
you think under the One Youth Two Skill program of the present administration, things like these are not there?
I believe so, because we're not seeing the robust effect in the society.
So it has not got such effect?
Yeah, even let me talk about my own community. I'm not seeing 2 or 3 people they're still roaming around. I have relatives. I've not seen anything where they say, oh, this person you met last month or 2 years ago, this is the government that is financing this. We've not seen such things. Maybe they exist, but we have not seen such things. John Chumanwosu is going to do something that is outstanding.
What are those things that could be
outstanding? Yeah, you know, today's world is all about ICT.
ICT.
Okay. It's not about, what will I call it? Do I call it orthodox way of doing things? No, you don't do. ICT. So we're going to introduce those things, raise children in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and bridge the gap between the other states so that they can do things in the modern way. I remember in my pharmacy, I was doing it in the analog way, but my son has said, no, you have to change. You have to be visible online. These are the things. And, you know, you can't do hairdressing in your small cubicle in my village. You must be taught how to advertise yourself.
I'm also concerned about the rural communities. Many of them don't have internet services. And when you talk about ICT, sometimes there are times you may need internet. And when these things are not in rural communities, how then do you cope with it? Or are you going to provide the Lomog thing in different communities for them to align with the ICT package for them?
Yeah, John Chumanwosu has said that power is also energy. Power, okay, I don't know which one we understand, is going to be one of his priorities. If you have power in those rural electricity, internet becomes possible and they can access it.
Are these things going to be immediate, or would it take like 6 months, 1 year, 2 years before it comes into action?
In terms of power, when you look, say 6 months, these are not immediate things, but it's when you start, when you begin to follow it, when you design the project, then you follow it judiciously and give a timeline. It's what you meet on ground that will enable you to say, I'm going to actualize this in this time. Okay. We have to assess what is on the ground. If we know where our priorities, okay, which areas do we need to give internet to the women in the farm so that they can also communicate and tell us what is happening in their area, why they are not doing well, the roads are bad, and these are the things. You look at it, you look at the priorities, then you set your projects and programs accordingly.
Okay.
These things will take time.
Oh, it's going to take time?
Absolutely.
But then it will be something that
you put in place. Yes, well structures, you keep on following the plan until you actualize it. Some will be immediate.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. For those of you listening at this point, remember, this is Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha. And guess who we have as our guest this very morning? We have Professor Igweze Zelunjo. She's a professor of pharmacology and at the same time toxicology and director of Women Affairs, John Wosu Campaign Organization. I want to ask you, do John Chumanwosu has anything for the elderly? They seems to be the most neglected. We've talked about women, you've talked about children, we are talking about the elderly. And this time around, these elderly, they have worked all through their life, retired, sometimes tired, but seems forgotten by anybody, even by family members. Are there plans for people like this?
Thank you very much. That is one of our key points in our social welfare program.
Okay.
You know, Anambra people are peculiar people. Most of us work in the non-formal sector because basically the Anambra person believes in him or herself. They do their business, but there are no pensions. And by the time you get old, it depends on what you try to fall back to. In terms of things like health, there's little you can do. John Wosu has mapped out a program that will give access to everybody who is 65 and above, male or female, irrespective whether you've worked non-formal or formal sector, where you can access some level of medical health. Paid some little stipends if you're indigent to be able to. You have to buy drugs. You have to pay for drugs. These are the things. So this program, he thinks so seriously about people who are 65 and above. And if you look in that category, they are mostly women. You remember that at times, by the time a woman is 65, 70, 80, her husband has gone.
Why is it so? I want to find out, because it's one of the things I've been rationalizing. By the time a woman is 70 or 80, the husband
is gone.
Why is it so?
I wouldn't say. There's so many things. It's a discussion for another day.
Maybe men suffer a lot. Maybe they suffer a lot. But you are saying something.
So what I'm saying is that we have that program. When there's a bus system, we have a program where people who are 65, I have people in my paycheck who are indigent, and I have a limited finance to meet all their problems. Sorry?
So it means under the indigent on what?
Yes. There's a woman I know, she has even a child who is mentally disabled. So how does she cope, even to feed? Now, she's thinking about food. She is not even thinking about the mental health of her daughter, who is supposed to help her with little things in the morning. She's a widow. So we have programs. It will be because of the new way things are done. You document them. And one thing I have to tell you in John Nwosu's team is that we are going to work. This is people who are interested in Make Anambra work. People of integrity, people who will do things right.
Oh, is Anambra not working now?
If it's working, why are they mending it?
Oh, is there any mending?
Maybe they are trying to mend it, but it's not working.
But there's this saying, if it's not broken, why fix it?
So why are they fixing it?
Oh, you said they are fixing it. Okay, but that's by the way. Let's leave that. You are talking about issue of data. One problem we have in this country is data management, data administration. If you don't have proper data, sometimes some social programs will not be efficient, and it will keep having some kind of problems. The organization, this time around, does he have adequate data about these indigent people, their demographics, in terms of age, in terms of numbers, in terms of gender, in terms of everything? If these things are not well planned, it will end up where people will ask to come to a square or village square to take home rice or to take home these things, and there will stampede, as we witnessed in Okija, where a lot of people died. Women died. Women who had gone just for a pack of noodle, who had gone for just something as little as this, but they lost their lives as a result of no data, no records, no documents. Does John Nwosu, does he have some of these requisite tools to agenda these programs you are talking about?
Thank you very much. I want you to always have at the back of your mind that John Nwosu is an ICT specialist. He has done it for several organizations, several countries. So when he talks about ICT, I listen. I'm a pharmacist, I'm not an ICT specialist, but I understand what he's saying. Data capturing is as simple, it's not a rocket science. It's to get the people who are committed, who know the business to do it. You start capturing data from families. It's very simple. You don't need to bring everybody to a square to do it at the same time. After all, when you talk about the electorate, there's a data on that. Although INEC is not doing well because so many people on their database are dead or non-existent. So we are going to do it in such a way that, you know, the way Igbo people, especially Anambra people, structure themselves, it goes from the family unit to the Omona to the bigger village. These things are easy. We have people who are in charge of these little entities, and you don't need to, you go through them to get the data from them and begin to operate. And again, when you say they come to the, I don't think there's, even the market woman who is selling Ogo has an OPay account. You don't need to go and call her to. If you capture her and her account number and you need to give her anything, you pay her directly through the banks. You don't need to give it to a third party. So when you say these things, I don't know any woman who doesn't have an account or whose child doesn't have an account.
There are people who are in the rural communities that do not have accounts. We have seen such people, and at times they cannot operate this account because of network service in those areas. And I remember, because of lack of proper data, the Ministry of Women or Humanitarian Affairs funds were diverted, and then it led to the sack of the minister. I wouldn't want to call her name, but we saw that under the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, where funds were allocated, but these things were not properly implemented. But you are saying that John Chumanwosu is an ICT specialist, somebody who has been in the field for a very long time. There will be no problem when it comes to capturing people, getting the right data. If you don't get the right data, you don't know the people you are dealing with. The data tells you everything about anybody, the numbers and everything you should know, and it helps in planning. So you are saying that these things are not going to be a problem.
Absolutely. Again, when you talk about the administration, you're talking, what was their motive? Was it to amass wealth, to siphon money, or to actually do the social support services? Your motive has to be correct for your program to be able to work. Our motive is to uplift Anambra people, men and women. Because if you look at it, what values have you put into the society? What values? So if the motive was wrong, the programs would definitely be wrong. You can't go the extra mile. Mind you, some of those places are exceptions rather than the rules.
Okay.
So when there are exceptions, you find a way to get around those exceptions and make them work. It's not everybody.
Okay.
Most people, Anambra, when you call it, Anambra is not totally a rural setting. Do you get what I'm saying? We live in our small towns and villages, but those small towns and villages have almost all has internet, has banks, even one or two, or they have all these virtual banks, OPay and everything. That if I want to pay a woman who is in a barrier or to pay for her goods, I can pay her. She sees it in her phone, because she must have somewhere she accesses her internet, and she will be able to bill my goods to me.
Let me also ask you, does the campaign organization or Chumanwosu, do you people have any program for the disabilities, those who are disabled? We've seen many of them, and sometimes they're also neglected. Is there any social welfare package for those living in disabilities? Very important. And also want to also find out from you, because people have talked about conditional cash transfers as one of the social safety nets. Could this also be part of the social welfare package?
It is part of it, but again, those are part of the people who have vulnerabilities. They're all integrated into the package. They also need a voice. Now we have 30 assembly members, one woman, if I'm right. I don't think there's anybody who is disabled there. It has to be affirmation. You don't understand their problem. I have to be disabled to understand what people in my category, what are their challenges. So it's affirmation. You have one woman in the assembly. Affirmation. You have to increase the number. For those who are disabled, you know, when we talk about disabilities, I find some of my colleagues look disabled, but they are lecturers. So they come in different categories.
Okay.
Some are not educated, some cannot keep a vocation. For those who can keep a vocation, stay in one place and do what? I've seen people who are disabled. So you have to talk to them, encourage them to find something doing. When it is so bad, maybe a man who is very aged, I see a queue. I stood one day at a cocker and I watched the will I call it traffic of blind people. I counted about 4, all begging. Why would these people be inside the market?
So are you trying to say that under Chumanwosu there will be no street begging?
Absolutely.
No street begging?
Street begging, yes. It depends on why you are begging. Some of them are not real. You have to assess everybody according to condition. Those who are blind, I guess that things are difficult. Maybe those who were giving them stipends prior, the economy has also hit their pockets. So what do you do with such people? Make an environment for them. Even if it means to come and eat and keep them there. And find out who in their family can be trained. Because when you train that person, he'll take his father or his mother out of the street. So, because the man who is begging has only money to feed. You check the families. Is there anybody here who we can train so that we can get this man off the street. It is possible and it is doable. Very simple.
Very simple, but then some would say it's not as simple as said, but you say it's very, very simple. So, but then, I want to ask you, what makes ADC's approach to social welfare under the King's platform unique compared to other welfare packages we've seen from different administrations across the country? What makes ADC's approach unique?
ADC is, let's start from our logo. Our logo is the handshake. When you see somebody and you shake his hand,
what does that mean?
It's
a form of greeting.
I accept you.
Oh, it means acceptance?
Yeah, I accept you.
Okay.
I can relate with you.
Okay.
Because if you get into a room and you don't shake somebody, you might remain there until you leave. But when you shake him, he will have the courage to tell you, I've met you somewhere, I know you, please, I have this problem. So the handshake is very significant. The ADC has the welfare, their main mantra is to uplift the common man. Everybody won't be a billionaire, but everybody has a right to live a good life, to go to school. Why is it that electorates react the way they react? Forget about it. Illiteracy is not just about not working. When you're literate, you can make informed decisions.
Okay.
You can look at Party A and say, no, they're not going to do what I want. Party B, I think I can identify with that. So the level of literacy is also very important. ADC has welfare. We're not saying we dwell in welfare so that everybody will become part of the welfarism. No. We do welfare as it is now and begin to build that in future, welfare goes down and people becoming independent on their own gets up and everybody is lifted.
Oh, everybody's lifted.
Absolutely.
I want to ask you, how will community-based institutions like traditional institutions be involved in the implementation of these welfare programs? Maybe if by the time, if Chuma forms a government, definitely there'll be Ministry of Women Affairs where these things could fall into, but at the same time, would the traditional institutions and then community-based organizations be involved in the implementation to make it seamless, as the case may be? Or it's going to be where the ministry from Oka goes about doing what they have been asked to do?
No, that won't be the case, because I always use Anambra as a reference case.
Okay.
Anambra State respects their traditional rulers. From wherever we come from, we have families, we have family heads, we have town heads, and we have the larger traditional rulers.
Okay.
Definitely, their inputs are very important. We have to bring them in everything. These people, we want to do this program, this is what we want to do. Who in your community can help us? Who can help us delineate where we go first and where we go last? We want to deal with this community. They have a very, we are not every day. We can't be every day, but the traditional ruler knows his people.
Okay. Well, I want to ask you, we have the place we may term the poorest when it comes to Anambra State demography. The Anam area, the riverine area. Many of these people lack some social amenities, and the present government has said they have done something for the people of Olumbana, not accessible through the road, but been able to give them the primary health care center and at the same time provide pipe-borne water and some other things. But how can these people also benefit from some of the things you've said so far? Taking into cognizance the topography, their location, and possibly their inability to access some of these things in the past.
Okay. The riverine people, their major problem is access. Accessibility to the rest of the state.
Okay.
And because of the their location and the climate in Anambra, most of the time when it rains during the peak periods like now, it becomes a hindrance. Let me tell you, people have built bridges across oceans.
People have built?
Yes, in River State.
Oh, in River State?
When I went to River State initially, there was no bridge that goes from Port Harcourt to Bonny. Now it's in place. You can drive to Bonny, Before it used to be speedboats, all the risk agreeable to such mode of transportation. Okay. So when it comes to Anam people, it's for a group to start. When you study their problems, you decide, you map up what you want to do.
I want to ask you, has the ADC in Anambra State studied their problem? Has they studied the problem of Anam people or those people living in that area?
Before John Wosu decided to run, he has an idea. He has the entire idea of what Anambra is now and where he wants to take it to.
And what they need?
What they need.
And what they go through?
Absolutely.
Does he feel the pulse?
Absolutely.
Does he feel the pain?
Absolutely. Because at a point, now that is the peak rainy season, Anam people cannot access the upland.
Okay.
And their farming is jeopardized because, the flooding and everything. John Wosu is definitely going to deal with Anam people. I'm sure it's going to be his priority.
Okay, I want to ask more questions, but time will not permit me because immediately after your section, we're going to have another guest. And this time around, he is of Abga. So he'll be talking to us later on. So let's quickly, but the time, let's open the phone lines. I know people would like to ask a question.
I hope so.
And then we've been speaking with Professor Zelunjo Igweze, who is the director of Women Affairs, John Wosu Campaign Organization, and she has spoken eloquently about the programs, the social welfare package they have for women, children, those who are vulnerable, and then the indigent in our midst. She has spoken, glowingly about these projects, saying that this is doable, they're not rocket science. And I asked her one question: are these things not in place? She said they may be in place, but they are not well done or well administered. And she said this state is being fixed, that maybe broken, but I don't know. That's her opinion. Let's quickly open the phone lines. Please call the following line so that you can be part of this program. You have just 30 seconds for your question. 0803 2216 973 or 0803 221 6973. 0803 221 6973. Please make it as brief as possible. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
My honorable speaker, Tony Olisa Mbeki.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Morning, the professor in the house.
Thank you.
My name is Maroke Chuka, calling from Onitsha.
Make it so brief. Maroke Chuka, you have the floor.
Very brief, my speaker. I just want to tell the guests in the studio, indeed, he's a lecturer. Yes. And I admire the way she talks. And she has spoken on both. Well, but I'm not here to discourage her. She should keep it on. And I believe, tell your candidate, if God may have it, the person may win. You understand? But I just want to acknowledge her boldness. Thank you very much, man. Keep it up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
To acknowledge. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Badmos or not?
Badmos, a quick one.
Good. I want to ask the guest in the studio. She said that the governorship candidate of her party knows so many things he wants to do. So I want to ask her, since women is the reason why she came more, one of the reasons why she came today, I want to ask her, do their campaign of nation have the number of 60 and 65 years women in Anambra State are going to help when they be called, when they get into power? Then number two, I want to ask her, do they have the data of how many women who is a single mother in Anambra State? Start from there. Or are they going to collect the data when they now become, they now be the governor or when they be in power? They have the data right now so that we can know how to position everything.
All right, thank you so much, Badmos. You are asking question about data, if they have the data now or they will have the data by the time they will become or they will be elected, as the case may be. We got a question that you will take on you when we are done with the calls, and then she will give you a reply or response. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you. It's good to have you.
Tony Olisa Mbeki.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Yeah, I agree to you, sir.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. Quickly because of time.
David Moore.
David Moore, you're welcome.
Yamanka.
You're welcome, my brother.
I thank God for the program where you do Udala. Everybody there, yeah. Everybody. I say, I want to God bless you and the partner where they're here, Udala FM. David Moore.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, David Moore, for your thoughts. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
Good morning, the guest and the professor. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I want to seriously commend you on how you have applied.
What's your name and where you're calling from is important to us. Your name and where you're calling from, please go on.
Okay, Okafor Uzochuk from Onitsha.
Okafor Uzochuk from Onitsha,
Yeah.
please go on.
The guest has clearly outlined what their roadmap, where they are heading. And I seriously align with what all their submission. About the women, how they have overtaxed traders in Anambra market. That is a very good point. If candidate can look into it, I believe that is a very high point of the whole thing which you said. We are overtaxed in the market, and the government should do nothing about it. It simply applies that what they do with traders I don't understand. When time they come on board, the traders are just like a machine grab, but when they are in election, they will call us to come and vote for them. But I believe the traders are sensible now. We traders in Anambra, we are sensible now. So let the election come. Our vote will decide for us. We are going to talk with our vote. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your thoughts. Let's also take this call. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Please, Tony, just 5 seconds. That much. I want to ask the guest, what have their governorship candidate done to women now that he is not yet the governor? Can he give us what he has done for women in his community or in another state now?
Okay. All right, we got that. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. You're welcome.
My name is Nweze from Omoba.
Where's there from Omaba? You're welcome. Please go on.
What I'm saying about the program that you are talking about, I'm so affected. I'm very happy for it. So what I'm saying is that, can you hear me?
Please go on. We can hear you very well. Go on.
What I'm saying is that about the people that are begging and people that are blind, to help people that will, to help them is the best easiest way to open a company for them to stay, a place to stay, to take care of them as a government acquired. So I'm very happy for that, because if you go to main market, Chanja, all these markets square, you will not see space to buy something here and there. They will be touching you, holding you, please do something for me. At least you will not know the person that you help and the person that you will not help. So to do the best thing is for them to find a better place, something doing for them. All
right, thank you so much. You have taken so much time. We have to let you go. Remember, we have said you're going to have 30 seconds for your questions. She has got the question. You are talking about those who are begging or the street beggars. She said during the course of the interview that there will be no street begging. There is a provision for those who are in the street for begging or thereabouts. So let's leave it at that. She will reply you. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
Hello, good morning, sir.
It's good to have you. You're welcome. Please go on.
Yes, it's a nice work you're doing, and I want to commend the woman.
What's their name? And where are you from?
Merit.
Merit.
I'm calling from Onitsha.
Merit calling from Onitsha. You're welcome. Please go on.
Yes. I called last week, and the governorship candidate said he's going to get my number from you. And obviously I'm not gotten any call. I have to call someone.
Go to Facebook.
And nobody has reached me. I have something with my team for them. And I believe with my contribution, our contribution,
you add up to what the good deals they have and have for
can you go to the Facebook and drop the whole thing so that it's always take our time here, please? If you can search my name on Facebook and then you can drop it there as a message, maybe we'll take it up from there. Let's take just one more call and then we'll come back to Professor Zelunjo Igweze for response. We've got so many questions here. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you. Good morning, are you there? You're welcome.
Good morning.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Yeah, I'm Chris from I'm Chris from Owelaja.
Quickly, Chris.
Yeah, my regard to the guests in the house.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay.
Thank you.
What I'm trying to ask our guests is, do your government have any plan about this issue which our incumbent governor have raised and have come to put into use? Giving land to Fulani headers. Did your government have issue? Because I myself am not happy about it. And our incumbent governor is going for a second tenure. Why is it that he intends to give our land, which we don't have much land in this Anambra state, and is about to give our land to headers? Can't our incumbent governor look at the predicament of the Benue people, what they are suffering?
All right, so sorry about that. We got your question, and then because of time, we have to let you go. Let's come back to Professor Zelunjo Igweze. You've got so many questions there. I don't know where you're going to start from.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Mbeki. I'll try to take them one at a time as much as we have time. Somebody asked a question on data on single women and those who are 65 and above. What is data? We have so many databases. It's just to clean it up. We have databases in Anambra State, in Nigeria, concerning people. Where you work, there's a database. So it will not take this administration, our administration of John Chumanwosu, more than 1 month to clean the data and begin to work. That is what I'm going to tell you. Then when you clean a data, you have to fill up what is not there. Because datas, some of them have been there for a long time that you don't even know those who are dead and who are living. And how do we do it? We have to go to the individual communities and do this. So data cleaning and data collection is no problem. You can collect data very quickly. I want to thank Oka for backing what I said about overtaxation. We have mothers, we have sisters, we have wives, even men, shop owners. The taxation is too much. John Wozu is going to make it zero. Very well defined way of collecting these taxes. Multiple taxation is everywhere and is one of the bane of doing business in this state. Then somebody asked me what my principal, John Chumanwosu, has done for women. John has run a company for about 31 years. John has a widows foundation. Where he comes from, Newi, you can go and verify and find out women he has lifted from poverty. And let me tell you also, as a woman and a mother, if you lift my son, you have lifted me, because invariably my son is going to take care of myself. John will also have done so. But directly on women, he has done so much for them, and you can go and verify. That's what I have to tell you. What somebody does in a little way, he can expand and do in a bigger one. That's what we're going to do in Anambra State. And I really feel for the person who was talking about the headers. What we have to tell you in our campaign and our party is that Anambra land is for Anambra people. There's no two ways about it. There's no compromise. And this is part of our security package. And you know, security things, you don't talk about it in the open. So John Wosu has it in mind. He sees it, he reads it, he feels it. So he's definitely going to be one of his. If you look at our SHIMS pillars, security is top on the list. And everything you're saying about our land is about security. And be rest assured that that is going to be our very, very first thing. Because when you have a secure environment, people can do their business and thrive properly.
All right, let's quickly take some messages from our social media handle. Quickly, you're going to respond to these messages. Also, Francis Namani watching live from Amagunze in Enugu. Okay, she says, good morning, my people in the studio, and keep it up. Okay, we have Jubem Obu. And then he says, funny people, elections around the corner. They are now remembering radio station to speak English, looking for who to... Okay, that's your thought anyway. Good morning, Tony. Michael watching from Oposi. Okay, I think most of those people commenting there, they are commending us. And then somebody saying that this is an election period and some of the candidates are going to radio stations. Where would they go to if they don't come to radio stations to talk to people? Because they have a mandate to talk to people and get them convinced. But all the same, your final word. You talked about affirmation, and then you also talked about... the issues you enumerated here, but one who listened would want to ask, because I know very well, maybe you're going to use it to end. And you talked about the issue of taxation being overtaxed, and we're going to also look at that. You talked about women being so much in the market, and many of them spend time in the market. Can there be anything that can also be introduced to them while they do their buying and selling? Possibly they also do other things alternatively, maybe multitasking, that's one. And at the same time, I'm also trying to find out this issue of this affirmation plan you talked about. How could this be the other side of it? Because sometimes when you put these things the way you want to put them, it may not go on the way you want. Is there any alternative? For any reason, the ones we have in mind or the ones we planned fails, any backup plan? Or the first one definitely will work, as you always say?
Thank you very much, Mbeki. When you say affirmation, who makes affirmative policies? We are humans. Who will make it work? Humans. Now, when they talk about affirmation, some people say it's a two-pronged thing. It can backfire, it can work. Then when you want to affirm, one other person is being disadvantaged. But again, now, when I talk about affirmation, the ones we can control, parties can control affirmation about women sitting on the table in political issues. When it comes to executive of a governor, affirmation is very simple. He says 40% of the women are going to be part of my executive. It's doable. And he goes to look for women who are qualified. Not women who are not qualified because you want affirmation. They have to be on the table to look at what is going to make their input. So that is about affirmation. The way it works is people that make it work. You make the policies, you make it work. What I'm saying about, let me say something about ADC. It is ADC. We have the handshake as our logo. This is the party of the moment. This is the coalition party. In the next how many weeks it will be announced. So we're going to work for Anambra people and do things that will work with our principal who has passion to put value on people's face. He has run a company for 31 states, 31 years. He's qualified. He has the pedigree to run a state.
We are completely out of time.
Thank you very much.
What do you have to tell the people before we depart? Because we have the next guest who will be joining us.
What I want to tell Anambra people is trust ADC. Trust ADC. Trust our principal. ADC will make Anambra known, will lift Anambra so much. Anambra has the greatest potential in Nigeria. We are Nigeria, if you ask me. So ADC should be trusted. Our logo is handshake. Our principal governorship candidate is John Chukwumanwosu. Please, you can go to sleep when you vote ADC. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. On that very note, we've come to the end of this very episode. Professor Zelunjo Igweze, thank you so much for your time. You spoke so well, and then I know many people say they admire the way you talk. Possibly one of these days you'll be deployed to go and speak to people, probably in US, in Germany, in Austria, in some of these very places, and then you take these issues that relate to women to these people, or even down to our villages. Thank you so much for your time.
Mbeki, thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's quickly go for a break. When we come back, we'll come back here with another guest. And guess who? Somebody who's going to speak about certain developments or certain programs the present administration of Governor Chukwuma Soludo is doing. And then, no need, I will introduce him by the time we are done or we are done with this break. We'll be right back.
Your number one quality bread. Wendy's bread. For your family breakfast. Wendy's bread. Opa chichane does yellow. Wendy's bread. Mama, papa, they like Wendy's bread. Number one chichane nyandu. Wendy's bread. Even children, they like Wendy's bread. Wendy's bread. Number one in town. Wendy's bread. You get the better tasty we go sweet your belly. Wendy's bread. Wendy's your bachichoma. Wendy's bread. Number one, the champion.
Wendy's bread, your number one tasty bread. You can contact us on our official address, 2nd Business Park, Enugu Road, GRA, beside Onitsha, Anambra State. We also have another branch at St. Michael Plaza, Atani Road. Also contact us on 070-1149-1571. Wendy's bread, your number one tasty bread.
Wendy's bread.
Hello, Philip.
Guy, how far now? It's 11:45. Waiting shop.
I beg, no vex. My landlord locked me for outside, oh.
Again?
No vex. I beg, have you come sleep for your side this night?
Omo, my babe, they around, oh. But nothing do you. Try call celebrity landlady.
Guy, serious now. Celebrity kini.
Celebrity landlady. See, with celebrity landlady, you feed on landlord with just 100k every week.
Nah, lie.
I go lie for you.
Not true. You can own your dream land with just 100k weekly. Yes, with Celebrity Landlady Save to Buy plan, that property where you dream of fit be your own just like that, oh. And Save to Buy plan allows you to pay for your dream land instrumentally, easy, flexible, and all yours. Our Save to Buy plan is convenient and safe. Start now and become a proud property owner in top locations like Otulu Asaba, behind Ogwashuku Polytechnic, Admiralty Drive, Ibusa, and Isela Asaba. For more information, call us now on 0701 018 8042 or 0903 844 9351. Celebrity Landlady, turning you into a proud homeowner.
Udala Radio, 104.7 FM.
Seriously authentic.
Udala majago, Ngwagolibe, Ngoliba, Udala majago, Ngwagante, Udala FM, Mamaga, Udala majago, na 104.7 corner of your Udala majago, current affairs is plus entertainment in a police. Udala majago, 104.7 kind of network. Udala majago, let's go see the Udala majago, 104.7 kind of network. Udala majago, let's go see the Udala majago.
104.7 FM, seriously authentic. When the stakes are high, the debates get hotter. When the issues demand clarity, we bring the fire. Welcome to Crossfire. Crossfire, where politics meets perspective, where issues are dissected, and where no topic is off limits. From the corridors of power to the pulse of the streets, we break down the politics, the controversies, and the decisions that shape our nation. Join Dr. Tony Olisa Mbeki as he puts guests on the hot seat, drilling them with the tough questions, demanding the hard truths, and leaving no room for half measures. Get ready for fearless conversations and uncompromising analysis. Crossfire, exclusive on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha, every Saturday from 9 a.m.
Yeah, welcome back. It's still Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM on Nature. This very beautiful Saturday morning, and today remains the 28th day in the month of June in the year 2020. 25. Remember, it's Sanitation Day in Anambra State. We have our second guest, as we just announced. We have with us in the studio this very morning, Sir Ojukwu Obakase Osisiomanam, the ABGA Assistant National Publicity Secretary, Southeast. He is our second guest this very morning. It's my pleasure to welcome you, Sir Ojukwu Obakase.
Thank you very much, Tony.
It's a very good one, and I believe you listened to the ADC person, and then I know I don't want to start with that, but let's begin with other things that have to do with ABGA. There was a rally sometime, I think last week, somewhere in Otuosha. We want to find out from you what that really was, and we discovered that the 7 local governments under that very senatorial district, Anambra North, came together in Otuosha to make endorsements, and they also conferred the title, a particular title, to the governor of Anambra State. Tell us more about that very incident. What happened last week in Otuosha?
Thank you very much, Dr. Tony, and thank you very much, our dear listeners. Otuosha was a behalf of event last week. It was a huge one. It was a wow on, as a matter of fact, and I did not stretch it too much. You need just to be there to see the organic support and the level of enthusiasm that is on the air that day. The people of Anambra North, in their thousands, irrespective of political affiliation, came as a one people and endorsed our governor, Professor Charles Soludo, for second term. It was a momentum and a momentous event.
And people say that some of the people who came there, they were just rented or they were just mobilized. Those who came for that endorsement, were they people that came on their own or were they rented?
Why will you rent what you have? We have the numbers.
Oh, ABGA, you mean ABGA has the numbers?
Yes, we have the numbers.
So you don't rent what you have?
We don't need to do that. We mobilized, yes, because you have to go get people out from the hinterlands. You have to mobilize them out. But like I said, we have the numbers. We have the followership. So we don't go about renting. We don't need to rent.
Let me ask you, the Oluwatuegu conferment, is it part of the campaign strategy? Because we saw where the 7 traditional, not just 7, I mean the 7 local governments, they conferred the title Oluwatuegu. You tell us what that Oluwatuegu means, and then is it something symbolic or is part of campaign strategy?
No, it's not campaign strategy at all. This is an affirmation of the good work the Mr. Governor has been doing and is doing in Anambra State, particularly in Anambra North. You understand? Where do I start? Do I start with the Boko that is in Anambra North? Do I start with the 3 general hospitals that is in Anambra North? Do I talk of the roads that are ongoing in Anambra North? Do I talk of the fact that you can get from anywhere and get to the headquarters of Anambra West in Zam that has been a no-no before now? Do I even have to say that Oluwatuegu went to Okwala? That place, no, he has to board an Okada to get to that point.
The Ulumbanasa.
Yes. And as I speak with you now, pipe-borne water, a lot of amenities projects are going on right now there. So that confinement was enough, to let everybody. In fact, it's something that we as a people in the Anambra North.
And you're from Anambra North?
Yes, I am.
So you mean that your people are happy with the governor, what he has done in Anambra North, and you are talking about Oboko. What about Anambra East, Anambra West?
Anambra East, all of them are in Anambra North. So if I start taking them one after the other, I don't know how much time we have right now. But the part of the whole thing is that it is a manifestation of the state of mind and happiness of India Anambra North. That was what really played out that day.
Do you think that when the real voting comes, the governor will overwhelmingly win Anambra North? Do you think so?
Do I need to? Well, my people will always say that what you are wearing in your hand, you don't need a mirror to look at it. If you are wearing a wristwatch in your hand, you don't need a mirror to look at it. So, as far as we are concerned, the governor is good to go in Anambra North.
All right, let's quickly look at. There is a party that came to Aguleri for campaign rally, and I would also want to tell you what that very party, what they say, APC was at Aguleri for campaign rally, and then during that campaign rally, statements were made. Where one Honorable Evaristo Sobiano, in that campaign, did say something. If I recall, Soludo's election a mistake, and then he endorsed the candidate of APC. In fact, I want you to react to that. Good. And then he said that the people of Aguleri, they are disappointed for electing and also supporting Soludo, and then doing so was a mistake on their own part, that the governor hasn't done anything for them over the time. And let me read out some of the statements made there, so you take each and every one of them one after the other, so we don't just go back and forth with some of the statements they made there. And then Ukachuku spoke there, and he cited insecurity and said that about 12 of his factories in Anambra State are shut down, and he's coming back to do something on that regard. And then there was also something said by Uche Ekwunife. She questioned Soludo's loyalty to President Tinubu, and then said that Anambra future cannot be based on federal, can be based on federal alignment on or credible local performance, which Soludo, according to her, does not represent. Uche Ekwunife in that rally questioned Governor Soludo's loyalty to President Tinubu. And then also there were other statements made by different persons. I think there was another one made by a stakeholder in that Aguleri, and that very stakeholder did say something about nothing being done for them by the governor in that area, that they, through their support, in fact, their son Obiano chose Governor Soludo to succeed him, and then it seems that he has abandoned them. They said quite a lot of things. You know, Evaristo Soba, where he called the election of Governor Soludo a mistake. Let's get a reaction to some of these things or statements made during that rally in Aguleri.
Excuse me. Okay, first of all, do you say who Obiano?
Evaristo Obiano.
Is there nobody now? I thought you were talking about somebody that's serious. I mean, did he come out from the beer parlor to come and make that statement?
I don't understand. What do you mean?
So I mean, how can you be?
He made that very statement at the rally.
So I mean, there are people that will talk and that will listen. How can you call? How can I? You know, how can we, as a people, as in the Omambala, will sit down in our meetings, and somebody will now say Everest Obiano said. I was thinking that you said Willie Obiano said, and I would have like, no. Aboko will never make that kind of statement. Everest is a nobody. Okay, so I don't even want to give him the benefit of discussing what Everest said or Everest didn't say, because I don't know where he came from to make that statement. Maybe straight from Abalaka Biapalo. And
why do you keep referring that he could have come from Biapalo?
Yeah, because I know him. I know this kind of person.
Oh, you know him very well.
Yeah. So he's a nobody. I don't need.
So you don't want to just talk about that?
No. His issue is a non-issue.
But APC allowed him to speak in the rally
because that's the kind of people they can get their hands on. Not real people of Aguleri, not real people of Omambala, not real people of Anambra North. They can't lay their hands on such high-stake individuals. It's people like Everest Obiano that, after chewing chingom and all that, maybe we'll start saying whatever comes into his mind. So please, let's discuss serious issue.
What Uche Ekwunife said in that rally, she said that she was questioning the loyalty of President Governor Soludo to President Tinubu. In fact, let me see if I can read exactly what she said, and then probably. Would you like to also react to what Uche Ekwunife said? Okay, we'd like to react to that one. But let me quickly, read it out so that you can make a quick reaction to that. So, since you said that you want to react to what Uche Ekwunife said, not Everest Obiano, what Everest Obiano said. Yeah. But okay, let's quickly give you or take excerpt on certain statements made by Uche Ekwunife, and then in that very rally, Uche Ekwunife, she stressed she said Obiano's public endorsement, let me quote her now. she said Obiano's, that is Evarist Obiano's public endorsement of Okachukwu clearly shows that Anambra needs new leadership. And then she also questioned Soludo's political loyalty, citing his previous reluctance to support President Tinubu during the last general election. And she said that Mr. President will never abandon his party candidate for an outsider. These were her statements. 3 things she said there. For Evarist Obiano to publicly endorse Okachukwu means, according to her, that Anambra State needs a new leadership. And then she also questioned Soludo's loyalty, and then citing that Soludo never supported President Tinubu during the election. Why is he fronting himself now? That President Tinubu will not in any way support an outsider against his own party candidate.
Okay.
That's some of the statements she said.
Okay. Let me take it from the top. You see, Senator Chekunife is one lady I have great respect for. Okay, and every Anambra person knows that she's a good person, you know, and I will not take it away from her. But the truth is that there's this saying in my place, or you know, around our area, that the 2 knives of Ike Leong, the 2 knives, the 2 great knives, because those days Ike Leong used to come with, you know, when they were ravaging the lower Mambala area, you know, there were mercenaries and all that, you know. Okay. So the 2 knives, that the Ike Leong used to come with the big 2 knives. Now, her people were immediately here, Ike Leong is coming, they all run into the Omambala River and swim across to Anam area and all that. Anyway, the story is this. They didn't know that the 2 knives of Ike Leong, no one is the one that has head.
It's not even.
It's not sharp. The one that is sharp does not have head. That's the situation we have with Iyom Uchekunife and Okachukwu. The one that is good with the people enter the wrong party. The one that
so, but let's react to what she said.
But what she said, first, and again, I'm kind of pained if Senator Uchekunife will be quoting Evarist Obiano as with a statement that Evarist said. I mean, she shouldn't bring herself to that level. Then about the governor's relationship with the president. The governor has a long time relationship with Mr. President, not just politically alone. They've been friends even when he was in CBN and all that, when he was in Lagos and all that. These are 2 high fly individuals. Okay, and politics apart, everything is not politics now. Mr. President came here, saw the good work, and said, Obiano is my Soludo is my friend, and I'm happy what he's doing. We can't take that away from
But APC is saying that
everything shouldn't be politics.
But APC says that Governor President Tinubu asked them to go and get a number for him.
I've made this statement here before. Go and get a number for me if you can. What he has given him is a tax. Now, when it's left for him now to come here and get a number for him, but I can assure you, is an impossible tax because Anambra is taken already by ABGA.
Okay, but then let me ask you, does Soludo betray Aguleri? Because there is former President General, if you may know him, I think that former President General Honorable Osita Patrick Nwoye, who was also a former political aide in Obiano's administration, he said that Governor Soludo betrayed the community that helped bring him to power. And then he went further to call him names, which I'm not going to say here. Okay. And then he said, we want our brother Obiano, but he didn't listen. Now everyone sees how ungrateful Soludo is.
Thank you very much. I like this kind of question or this kind of issue coming up. Personally, as a person, I don't like discussing this person said, the other person said, but because they've said that in public, I have to react to it. Now, the Omambala people, that is comprising Ayamelum, Oyi, Anambra East and West, we as a people, everybody, you will agree with me that we are this kind of people that doesn't have too much emphasis on wealth accumulation, being trying to throw accumulation of materials, wealth and all that. We live very simple life. You see, we as a people did one thing through our leader, Willie Madabrochukwu Obiano. This is not an Aguleri thing. I'm talking about Anambra, Omambala area, and in extension, Anambra North. Because that thing was zoned, that slot was zoned to Anambra North, Okay? Now, our brother did one thing. He said that and he's very pragmatic. I want you to take note of this statement. And I'm quoting Willie Obiano. He said that I want to bring somebody that is better than me to govern Anambra. He said it. Abokwe said that he wants to bring somebody better than him to govern Anambra. Why? Because he has the passion. You see, the greatest gift a leader will give is the gift of succession. Every man prays for his child to be greater than him. It's only somebody that does not have good heart that prays for the person that's succeeding him to be less than him. Because if we have to grow, it is a question of putting something on what you have built before. So, Obiano built, and he knows Professor Charles Soludo very well, and said, please, I want you to give me Charles Soludo because he will do better than me. He said it, and we all concurred and followed. So, as far as we are concerned, there's nothing to say that Professor Charles Soludo has done that is not good to our people.
To Omambala people.
So you are not. And again, sorry, 1 minute. And again, with what he has done so far, I mean, we even have reasons to support him more. General Hospital in Aguleri Otu.
Aguleri Otu, because is Aguleri Otu different from Aguleri?
No, Aguleri Otu is an extension of Aguleri. See,
because they said he hasn't done anything for Aguleri, but you're mentioning brand new General Hospital. Aguleri Otu and Aguleri, are they the same thing or are they
the same thing? These people are living across the other side of the river. Just like in Anam now, we have Umuobanam, we have Umuezanam at the other side of the river. They are the same way, I mean, the same community, okay? Now, not only that, do you know that as we speak right now, that the road leading to Aguleri Otu, that our brother Willie Obiano was constructing, that the governor has opted and is continuing with it.
That there is a road project going on in Aguleri.
Serious road project going to Aguleri Otu. You understand? And there's the Aguleri Otu. So somebody, you see, this is political period. So somebody can just come just to make noise so that they will give him something for his pocket. You start saying things that are not realistic, okay, and things that are not quite unfounded. So you have to expect this kind of thing. So if
governor, according to you, has given them a brand new general hospital and also constructing a road, according to you, that leads to Aguleri Otu, you say that Obiano awarded the contract, but the Governor Soludo has taken it up and then the road is ongoing. Why are they still saying that he betrayed the community, that he abandoned the community, he hasn't done anything for the community? Why are they saying so?
They are saying it because that's what Ukachukwu and his people wants to hear. Okay? They are saying it because they need to say something for something to enter their pocket. Now, we know these characters now.
All right, let's leave that. Let's quickly take you to the Solution Fund City that is being opened today. And we understand that the ceremony has begun. One would want to ask, why Solution Fund City? Why the Fund City in the first instance?
Good. See, as somebody that has a background in marketing, communication, and public relations, okay, I know what branding is. I know the importance of giving a brand name or a brand character to a product, to a people, to a state, okay, and to a country. So, you see, we need at this time as a people, we need this icon brand that will get us recognized anytime, anywhere. You see, and Mr. Governor, in his futuristic thinking, conceived this noble idea. You see, the Front City, it's not just the Front City. It's not just like our position. The
APC says it's a playground.
It's not just a playground.
They say it's a playground.
It's not just that merry-go-round you are saying.
They say that it's where you go and do jungle over. That's what they call it. They say the governor has constructed jungle over for them.
I was there since yesterday. I've been there. This morning I touched there before coming to the studio because my people are doing some job in there. I tell you what, that place is a complete, okay, complete.
In terms of leisure or in terms of tourism?
Leisure and tourism park. If you get there, are you going to talk about the children area that you can leave your child at in safe comfort, and the child will be good with all he has, all he wants there. We're talking about the cinema halls. There are cinema halls there. There are live theater hall there. There are country club there. This is what I've seen. You need to enter. You need to see the finesse. You need to see the finishings. Okay, there are a whole lot of package. So it's not just what you are seeing from outside. Come inside first and see what the wonders Mr.
Does it mean that the APC, based on their statement, did not see anything, but they said it's a jungle over where you go and then do jungle over? That's the way I'm just quoting them. Where you go and do jungle over. There's a playground, but you're saying they should come and see first.
Yes, jungle over. If jungle over is what I want, thank God jungle over is there. But if I still want more, thank God there's a swimming pool. If I still want more, thank God there's a theater hall. Okay, if I still want more, thank God I can go take my friends to the country club. Okay, and if I can go on and on and on and on. Indoor games. Okay, we need such a place to give us that kind of branding that we need as in the Anambra. We need that place so that at any time you come into Anambra, you won't start looking for where to take your friends to. Anytime you want, let me tell you one thing. You see, Mr. Governor, in designing his packages and programs for the Anambra, he takes it all encompassing. Now, you remember he said that Anambra will stop being a transit point and become a destination point. Now, before, if you want to have some of these experience, you go to Enugu. Sometimes you go to Asaba. So you kind of you transit from Anambra to that destination. But now Anambra is where you can come and have that experience.
I remember when Willie Obiano was doing airports, so many people came out to say that Anambra does not need airports, that people are suffering, that what they need is they need food. And Willie was so busy doing the airport saying, if you eat food today, you're going to still be hungry tomorrow. That he has to do something that is lasting. Now, Governor Soludo has come up with Solution Fund City. From what you've said here, I think it contains, I listened to the Commissioner for Culture yesterday, Dom Onyenji, where he said that the Fund City contains amusement park, that is the outdoor attractions, which may include things like trail rides, and kiddie shares, and then roller coaster type, and the water park, which also contains water slide, splash pads, pools for all ages. And then the country club and cinema you mentioned now. And then I understand that there is also a social and recreational hub with a restaurant and cinema amenities, which also mirror multi-service venues like main event entertainment, and then Bullwinkle's offering bowling, dining, movies, etc. That those who are in Nollywood can go there and make their movies.
As a matter of fact, yesterday when I went there, when we are doing our rounds there, I saw Uwe's work.
Okay,
and his crew. You know, they were full of excitement and
they started making movies.
And there's a 5 for the sports lovers. There's a
sports park.
Yeah, there's this 5-a-side football artificial trump.
Okay,
artificial trump. Yeah, very.
So those who want to play football, can also go there. Like, I think the commissioner was talking about those who also want to play basketball and then rope courses and then mini soccer. Like one you are saying now.
Yeah, exactly.
These things are there. And then they say that it's more like multi-use court you see in places like Port Harcourt.
My advice to them is this. My advice to
it's not
is this: go there and experience it. If you are seeing the merry-go-round from the outside. Come inside, your view will change. All right. I assure you.
And then also event and occasion facilities there for those who want to do events.
Yes.
Instead of going to hotels where you're charged, you can do your events there. Yeah. And at the same time, there is also arcade and then VR indoor entertainment.
Exactly.
But in all of this, I listened to the commissioner yesterday. Why I say more about this, because the commissioner was rolling out some of these things yesterday, and he said over 200 persons have been employed.
Yes.
And he says that none of these things going on there will be for free after today.
Yes.
That after today, which is the opening day, the government will rake in revenues, make so much money from what they have.
Yes.
And we also understand that the Soludo government is also building a 5-story 5-star hotel
at the ICC Center.
At ICT Center, and the hotel is nearing completion. Is it turning Anambra to Abuja, or do you think Anambra people really need these things?
Thank you very much. Development is an integrated thing. You don't just develop one side of the society and then leave the other. You see, it must be interwoven. So what Mr. Governor is doing, and he will use the word intentional about it, is that all the old sphere of development is being carried along. You see, if you leave, talk of the rural development is giving them the touch it requires. Then, in this area of hospitality.
That's hospitality industry. So you mean the governor is building hospitality industry?
Yes, he is re-rigging it to a level that right now you can come to Anambra.
The question is, do Anambra people need these things?
Yes, we do.
As Anambra, do you need it?
Of course I do. If I want to live in a livable and sustainable society and state. If I want nothing to take me back to Port Harcourt. Okay. If I want an improvement of the society I'm in, which is Anambra right now, and if I think well of Anambra, I should be futuristic in my approach to things. I won't do something, or I won't be thinking that it was done this way yesterday, so it has to be done this way, the same way today. No.
I understand the governor is so much concerned about aesthetics, beauty. And then last I went to Oka, he has painted almost all the flyovers, and then with some artistic designs, he has painted even some road rails. Painting Oka, and also the 3-arm zones. In fact, I saw videos where the roads, the dualized road leading to the new government house, how the rails were painted, and then now building 5-story. 5-star hotel, the Solution Fund City, and in all of these, you think Anambra people are happy with these things? Or you think they may consider it, or they say this is not what we need? Actually, that you can get those things in Abuja, you can get those things in Lagos, you can get those things in Port Harcourt. That's not, if you go to Port Harcourt, go and get those things. But here in Anambra, say they want something much more different. Do you think so?
Okay, thank you very much, Doc. Let us, spin this from the other side. First of all, the governor is not painting Oka.
Okay.
You see, if you must move forward, you must move with the pace that is required. Okay, at any given time.
Okay.
We cannot say because we want to look beggarly, we start wearing tattered clothes. No, those areas that he's touching, like you say something about payment. They are supposed to be the way it is now. Is it not? That's supposed to be the way it is now. Clean and neat. Okay? Now, when you say something about aesthetics and I laugh. Why I laugh is that these are things that, it's normal. It's normal everywhere. It's normal to put your environment in a situation or in a position that you can be happy with what you have, what you see around yourself. So what's wrong with that?
So APC, I think they were saying that the energy is spending in that very sector. Why don't he put it in area of security? Okachukwu said 12 of his factories in Anambra State are completely shut down because of insecurity.
Let me tell. Let's not overflog these things with political statements and all that. When rhetorics and all that, turns my stomach sometimes. How many of those industries are viable before now?
Oh, you mean that they have been shot even before now?
I mean, most of them are moribund now.
Oh, many of them are moribund.
So I don't want us to look at that. What I want us to look at is this: insecurity. Tony, you and I have seen the improvement. You and I can testify. I mean, we don't need somebody to start creating fears. We don't need somebody to start creating a larger than life kind of this. And my fear is this, and I pray that it doesn't get to that. So that the position where some people will start stroking this thing of the amber of insecurity and all that, and then creating fears in people. Insecurity has been handled. It's being handled, and I can assure you, with the kind of security architecture Mr. Governor has put on ground, insecurity is as good as gone in Anambra. So let me not say gone, but has been reduced to the most minimal index you can think of.
All right, we've been speaking with Sir Ojukwu Obakase, and then we're going to open the phone lines, and then you're going to listen to callers who are going to come in with their questions and their thoughts about what you've said. Sir Ojukwu Obakase Osishomanam, the ABGA Assistant National Publicity Secretary, Southeast. He's our second guest, and then he has been responding to some of the issues. We started with what happened in Aguleri last weekend, where the entire territorial district, they came out to endorse Governor Chukwuma Soludo for second time, and then he was conferred with the chieftaincy title of Oluwatoegu. And I've asked him questions about that. He said they didn't rent anybody, that they cannot rent what they have. It was not rented, according to him. And then statement made by Uche Kunife, statement made by Evaristo Suba, when they did their own campaign in the same Aguleri. And he said they built hospital, road construction is ongoing. They can't be betrayer, according to those who say that the governor betrayed them.
Dualization of territory to Omas in Ayamelum ongoing.
Okay.
It's on the pipeline right now. Any moment from now, they will move to site.
All right, let's open the phone lines again, because we've done that before. We are going to do that again. 0803 22 16973. Let me call it again. 0803 221 6973 or 0803 221 6973. For the benefit of hindsight, if you've called earlier on, please allow those who have not called before to call in, because I know those who have called earlier on when we had the first guest who like to dominate the phone lines. Let's go straight to the phone line, please. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Hello, good morning, sir.
You're welcome.
Good morning. Hello.
You're welcome. We can hear you. Please go on.
Yeah, good morning.
My name is Charles.
Charles, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Fege.
You're calling from Fege. Please go on.
Guest in the studio. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Charles.
Please, I want to ask the guests in the house. Out of 5 markets in Anambra State, there's no election, Casca Committee. So now governor want to go second term. He want to contest again. So now I'm a election, look all markets, so that I want democracy. I want to democracy inside the market.
Okay.
Of Casca Committee. So that's my question. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your question. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you. All right, please try and call back. Remember, we are looking at certain developments, and then one of our guests who just left says that markets are overtaxed and so many transactions. Maybe, I don't know if you can respond to that. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome. Please go on. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Desmond. I'm calling from Town, Onitsha.
Desmond calling from Town, Onitsha. Please go on.
I want to commend our government in Anambra State. It is good when someone is doing well, you commend him, irrespective of political affiliation. It is good to give honor to whom honor is due. one thing that is very visible in this dispensation is a coordinated infrastructural development in all local governments in Anambra State. This is not political. I once told someone that Soludo is not a real politician, that Nigerian politicians don't do like that. So in a very short term, I must commend the government. He is doing well.
Okay. All right, thank you so much. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you. Hello, are you there? All right, try and call back. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Hello, Mr. Speaker.
You are welcome.
Please, this question is very important.
But you've called earlier on, and you are one of those bad. I asked a question. You've called earlier on, but you know. Quickly, because let's give you grace.
Yes, please.
This question I want to ask you. I'm waiting for another government to react on this issue.
Quickly, because of time.
There is taxation. They are taxing the trader in wholesale market to pay 1,000 naira for the election of to support the election of the governor. I've been waiting for another government to tackle this, but they have never reacted to this.
Who is taxing? Who is taxing who?
The market leaders.
Okay, the market leaders. All right.
It is not the
all right, we got that because of time. He will react to that when I will give him time to react. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you each time anybody calls in. Know that we can hear you. Just go on and.
Right. I agree with this. My name is Obinna Tropicana. I'm calling from Umweri.
You're calling from Umweri?
Yes, Umweri. Okay.
All right, please go on, Obinna Tropicana.
We need to call a spade a spade. Everything cannot be politics. I think Professor Soludo has done what his predecessors have tried to do in this term. You know, in terms of infrastructure, he's ahead of everybody. And same thing with few other sectors, including education and etc. You know, I've been listening. The younger brother of predecessor who violated what he said, I think it's fallacy. I don't need anything to say that because you know, when he talked about the fact that Soludo didn't support I would say it's a fallacy because me personally I have a problem with Soludo in Africa when he tried to switch to Tinubu in the expense of his brother. What do you call it? Peter B. What do you say? Place. You know, he was bold in his statements during the presidency. That's the only problem where I have a problem. Where he clearly switched from Tinubu.
Okay.
So how on earth will you say that?
We got you because of time and your network. We have to let you go.
So I have a problem with Tinubu. But like I said, in terms of another aspect of governance, I think Soludo have done very, very well. Except security. They need to improve in security. That's the most important thing.
Okay, thank you so much. Because of time, I have to let you go. Our guest has taken note of your statement. He will react to it later on. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, Chief Dr. Olisa Mbeki.
You're welcome.
Our guest in the studio. Good morning, sir.
You're welcome.
And our listeners all over the world, I greet you all. I am Prince O.Eloy. Yes, I always represent the people of North Anti-Numunus, local government of Abia State. Just to summarize it all, Soludo has really done well in Anambra State compared to his predecessors. He has really done well. Sincerely speaking, mostly in the area of road construction and security. He has really tried. The only fear I'm having now on Soludo is maybe in this his second term, he may not work again. He may use it to acquire wealth for himself. That is just my fear. I don't know. That is just what I'm suspecting. Then, did I hear the speaker very well when he said that the road from Territory to this Omase will be, the work will start in that road very soon. Please, I don't need the list on that area. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for your thoughts. Let's see if we can just take more calls and we come back and then channel some of these statements. And good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you. You people should not rush it.
Good morning to you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Just at the studio. Good morning.
You're welcome.
Good morning, my brother.
Thank you Honorable Dikan. I'm calling you from Onitsha.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. I think the governor goes this year, with what he's doing in Anambra State, not just the roads, security, sanitizing everywhere. And somebody like me was convinced that we are there. Suddenly, this issue of endorsement of President Bad and this issue of the Fulaniana. Somebody like me, I'm disappointed because you can't be telling me that you are going to give land to the Fulanis, irrespective of so I don't really get that, and they have to refute it. Are you getting it? Just like this issue of 1,000 naira and accolades in the market, I've heard about it. Yeah, the government is silent over it. In the matter now, a matter of governor or now government are they aware of what is happening and they kept quiet? So these very things now so we are talking to the governor and the government. Whatever they say that is not the truth, come out and debunk it. Let's know where we are. The idea of Fulani giving them branches or whatever. We don't have land in Anambra State. Well, our people go out here, we buy lands and develop and, you are not bringing in not just these headers, and some of them are terrorists. How can we negotiate with them? How can we, stay with them? So I think, because it's, spoil something for him, and this endorsement of President Bad, he's also trying to tell us to vote for APC, indirectly or indirectly. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. Let's quickly come back to our guest this very morning.
Hello.
So
Can I go on?
Actually, I picked your call out of mistake.
So I want to ask.
Okay.
I'm Batmos. I want to ask the guest. Can he please tell us how much Soludo government used in building that front city?
Okay.
And also want to remind him that I went to Aguleri for burial last week on Thursday. I stayed here from 11 o'clock till 4. And the Anambra airport, I did not see any plane.
All right, thank you so much. Because of time, we have to let you go. And then decide if called earlier on, because we have to manage time. We have a few minutes left here. We've got some questions from our listeners that tells you that they are so passionate about this very program. Let's begin with any of the question or concerns raised by any caller or our listener, please.
I think, first of all, I want to thank the callers for their tenacity and patience. I know how difficult it is to get us, you guys.
Very difficult.
Yeah, because the traffic is too much. So going forward, I stand as one of the leadership of the party in government in Anambra State, and to tell you categorically that the government or the governor or the party has not, will not, and did not in any way and in any form ask anybody to collect any dime as a form of tax or a form of endorsement money for the governor or for the election. So take that to the bank that I say so, and that is the fact. Okay, know that this is an election period. Many people will be coming up with a whole lot of stories just to tarnish the good image of Mr. Governor and the party.
All right, there's also another question somebody asked there. Somebody also asked, and like Badmos asked, can you say the amount spent for the solution funds? I think the commissioner said, I think billions were spent, but he didn't specify it. Or is it in your capacity to tell us the amount spent for the funds? And then this issue of headers. Somebody has raised it. I think another person also raised it, that there are plans that the government will consider our land to headers, but we are waiting for government. They say they are waiting for government to either debunk it, that this rumor is making waves somewhere else.
Okay, first let me dive into the issue of the headers. Yeah, I think that's for me is one hard one that what we have to clear from the mind of our people. Again, that came to that what happened with the rumor of collecting money for the governor is the same thing that is powering this same rumor too is just a rumor. There's no fact, there's no official position by the government of Anambra State to this effect. So these are just rumor that the opposition is peddling to see if they can lay their hand on something. It is not there. There's no official position by the government that we are having any kind of negotiation, every kind of with the
What
headers.
do you mean by official position? Official position has to do with when government issues a statement or a public statement that anybody can say anything, it becomes the person's opinion.
Yes.
But not really the position of government.
It's not the position of government. It's not has not been in any way crystallized as a fact or as a.
Is the party aware of this? The party aware of this rumor?
We are aware of many rumors. Now every time there are rumors everywhere. So but serious ones like this, we go out of our way to tackle it and get the record straight.
Okay, so nothing like that.
Nothing.
So people should go and rest.
People should go about their normal business and forget these rumor mongers.
And what if they say that they heard it from a government source?
Let them say from which source now. Nobody, I can assure you, no government. I just told you now there's no government position in that effect.
Okay. I don't know if you have any other question there.
I thought there are these the guy that said something about market election.
Okay.
You see, market and the marketers. These are don't forget that they are not government. They are individuals.
Unions.
Okay? Unions. They have their constitution. They have their whole programs and all that. So what the government does is, if you put yourself together and say, government, come and do election for us, they would come and do election for you. But if you're having your internal issues, you're having your internal politicking and all that, please don't put it on the government. Solve your issue first.
So you are saying those markets that have not had elections, these markets, or is as a result of them having internal problems?
Yeah, they are having.
Not government.
No. The government is good to go anytime they.
So what it means that if they are having problems and they could not have election, government helps them by giving them caretaker committee
at least,
from the same people.
From the same people. So there's no vacuum here. There's no, nature does not allow vacuum. Government and governance.
Who stoked these problems in this market?
Market. Don't forget that these are individuals. And they
have interest. They have conflict of interest.
No, conflict of interest. Yeah, that's their challenge. Conflict of interest.
So would you say what's government business? Maybe is it to make sure that there is no breakdown of land order?
Yeah, basically.
What if they're having problem? Government brings security, and then whether they like it or not, they must have election.
No. The system Mr. Governor operates is not this kind of undemocratic system.
They must agree amongst themselves.
Yes. Imagine they agree, they come up, they do elections for them.
Just like some communities that have problem with their Igwe.
With their Igwe or
and
PG.
And each time they come together, definitely government will monitor the election.
Exactly.
So the work of government is to monitor.
We are not even supposed to.
And then give certificate to who? Maybe because of
the people chooses.
Okay.
Amongst themselves.
So because some people think it is government that does not want to conduct these elections.
No, of what benefit will it be to the government? No.
And there are some markets that have not had election for 2 years, 3 years.
Because they're having their internal issues.
Even 4 years. And some of them, could it be they are in court?
Some of them are in court too. And we know as a law-abiding government, we cannot put our hand into.
If they're in court, government says back.
Yeah.
Until they are done with the court issue. Can't government broker peace for these people? Broker peace by telling them and appealing to them to withdraw their litigations from court and then probably have them to agree on something and conduct election for them. Can government step in to play that peace role where it can ask them to get their matters out from court and possibly have them agree on something?
I can assure you that those are the process. Those are part of the ongoing process now.
Okay, let's take this one call and then we round up. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, welcome. It's good to have you.
Chris from Owelaja.
Chris, you called earlier.
I was yet in the house. I'm not yet, I cannot yet understand your explanation concerning market issue collecting 1,000 naira. Why can't the government come out and tell these people and even investigate and arrest us because this is criminality? And you are dodging the question. I don't like it.
Oh, He didn't dodge. I think he didn't dodge the question.
I did not, and I will not dodge a sensitive question like that. I've said, and read my lips, though you can't see me right now. Take my word to the bank. There is nothing like that by the government of Professor Charles Soludo.
And then he says something about arresting those who are doing it.
Good. Now that you have brought it to the notice of the government, and now that you've had it, be rest assured that effective measures will be taken to arrest that ugly situation.
All right, thank you so much. Because of time, we're completely out of time. Sir Ojuku Obakase, thank you so much for being here. You are the Assistant National Public Secretary, ABGA Southeast. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. One last word, please. I want everybody to understand that the government of Professor Charles Soludo is purely one state, one agenda for the Anambra.
All right. Thank you so much. And that's what we have for you on on Crossfire this very weekend. We'll leave it at this until we come back your way next week. Thank you so much for being part of this program. My name is Tony Olisa Mbeki. Do have a wonderful weekend.
Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously.